submitting it or submitting the assignment within the given allotted time. Yes, it is in MS Forms. It is in MS Forms. It's going to be in MS Forms itself. So any delays, it is on your head, on your, it's your responsibility. Okay. So we will start with the class now actually. So I believe that you can all see the slides. I'll be starting the quiz exactly at 3 to 3:20. By 3:30, before 3:30, all the quizzes or all the quiz from yours at, the submissions should be there actually. Okay. So any delay, it is not in our hands. I know some of students have taken a prior permission, so you guys are excused actually. I have received the mail a couple of days back, so you guys have been excused, but any delay today won't be acceptable. Okay, please don't come to us saying that I have sent a mail, I've asked the permission from your end, but it's not at all acceptable now. Okay, those who have asked the permission before are excused. Okay, I'm informing now itself. I have received mails from the students. It has been forwarded to the my HOD. From there, I think so to the associate director. For some of them, the associate director has been, have already confirmed it actually. Okay, so today's class I'll take up the rate of return method. So, so what is rate of return according to you? What do you understand by the term rate of return? What do you understand by the term rate of return? What do you understand by the term rate of return?
So how much of the initial investment will be getting back?
Yes, how much of the initial investment that you invested in a project you will be getting as returns in the forms of returns actually. Say 100 rupees you have invested and you get say 130 rupees as a return. Out of that 30% is your profits, 100 rupees was the investment that you have done actually. So return will be based on that particular term. So the rate of return here, what we are actually doing is, rate of return of a cash flow pattern is the interest rate at which the present worth of the cash flow pattern reduces to zero. Right? When I say reduces to zero, that means it is at that particular point where your project will give you a return. That means your net present worth should be equal to zero. This is for the calculation. Your net present worth should be equal to zero. That is the point where you will be getting the return. So in this method of comparison, the rate of return for each alternative is actually computed. So there are multiple alternatives and you are computing each of the alternatives. So the alternative with the highest rate of return is selected as the best alternative. So there are examples, in the next slide. So it says that it is the amount of income generated by the in a year by the capital that is invested. So they give the example 100 rupees is invested and you're getting a return of say like 130 or maybe 100 rupees is invested now and over a period of time, say like for 5 years you're getting a return as 30 rupees. Every year you're getting a return of 30 rupees. So what is the total return that you got? Right? So we will calculate that maybe in the after maybe later in the class. So there is an example of rate of return. So it says that Vincent Gogh's painting Irises. John Whitney Payson bought the art at $80,000. He bought the art at $80,000. Now John sold the art at 53.9 million in 40 years time period. Right? He purchased the painting at 80,000. He sold the painting at 53.9 million in 40 years. So what is the rate of return? So can somebody give me the answer? You can type the answers actually. You can type down the answers. Okay, see, your rate of return is actually in terms of percentage. Okay. It should be in terms of percentage. Okay. So now if you see here, your investment is $80,000. Your returns is $53.9 million. So what method are you going to use here? See, when I say returns, it is nothing but the revenue. It's in the form of revenue actually. So you're supposed to use the revenue-based approach over here, right? So your MPW when it is equal to 0, what is going to happen? Yeah. 40 years is the time period. So please calculate. I know you all have written it down actually, but I think so you're not considered the time period. You just calculated. You just I believe that you have done some different calculation over here. So over a period of time, you get the returns to be 17.68%. So please go through it, please have a look at it properly. Okay, so I hope you're clear with this. So we'll move on to the method that is the revenue-based approach. So you have studied the revenue-based approach even before. That is P is the investment, R1, R2, R3 are the revenues or the returns. S is the salvage value. So in the revenue-based approach, the equation will be minus P plus R1 into 1 by 1 plus I whole to the power n plus R2 by 1 plus I whole to the power 1 into 2, like that it goes on. So this is how it is. Whereas, So if you see over here, this is a trial and error method that is given for the particular equation. Now you have considered the equation that is present with equation is equal to minus p plus r1 plus r2 so and so till the salvage value or till the end of its life period. Now the equation what we are considering here is nothing but the trial and error method actually. Okay, you can also consider the NPW is equal to 0 method. Your net present worth is equal to 0 method can also be considered actually. You can substitute all the values in the calculator and you can get the answer for it. But for that, please listen to me. But for that, when you're doing it, you have to write down the equation. You have to mention by using the calculator, this is the answer that you got. Okay, by using the calculator, this is the answer that you got. But the method what I'm going to discuss now, see, there are alternative methods. There are so many methods that can be used. Okay, now this is the trial and error method that I'll be discussing. So you got the equation over here. This is the equation if you see, right? This is the equation that is given here. Now, in the trial and error method, right, you can substitute with the intuitive value of I or a random value of I, right? When I say random value of I, you can start with say any type of any percentage. It can be 8%, right? You can go ahead with 8% initially. You can okay. First, when you're considering 8%, you may be getting a in the graph that is given over here, right? In the graph that is given over here, you can start with say 4%. For 4%, you may be getting a positive net present worth. That means, like say for example, you're getting plus 2000, as your net present worth, plus 2000 as your net present worth. In this particular example itself, for 4%. Now increase it by 2%. That is for 6%. Again, you're getting a positive net present worth. You might be getting plus 500 rupees as your net present worth. Now increase it further by another 2%. That is at 8%, you may be getting a negative present worth, that is minus 100. So on your y-axis, you got the positive net present worth, that is above the x-axis, you got the positive net present worth. Below the x-axis, you're getting the negative net present worth. Okay, so that means your I value or the value of I will lie between 6 and 8%. Your value of I will lie between 6 and 8%. Okay, so I will repeat the step again. So this is a trial and error method that you're using over here. In the trial and error method, you're considering the different values of I. You're starting with say 4%. For 4%, you're getting a positive net present worth. You're increasing it to 6%. Again over there, you're getting a positive net present worth. You are again increasing it to 8%, where you get until you get a negative net present worth. So you are having a positive net present worth, you're having a negative net present worth. So that means, right, that means your I value will lie between 6 and 8%. Your I value will lie between 6 and 8% itself. So after this, you're going to use the interpolation method. You all have studied the interpolation method. I will discuss the interpolation method when I take up the numerical problem itself. Okay, so I would like to repeat it again. There are two methods. The methods what I discussed now is the trial and error method, where you're considering the different values of I, Then the next method is the NPW is equal to 0 method. Okay, so this is how you're going to use the particular method to solve it. You can use any of the methods that has been discussed over here. Okay, you can use any of the methods that has been discussed over here. So the steps are given here. You can go through the steps. You can, it is the same thing what I discussed. You can go through the steps actually, and then you can use the interpolation method. Okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes time to go through the steps. Okay, shall we move to the numericals? If you got any doubts, please feel free to ask me. Okay, any doubts, Abhigyan?
No, sir.
Oh, clear? Okay, fine. So we shall move to the numericals then. So this is the first question. So if you see here, the rate of return is not given. So the interest rate is not given. You need to calculate what is the interest rate. Okay. In the future questions, there'll be a MARR value given actually. So I'll come to that. But let us try to solve this particular numerical. Then we'll go on to the next one. Now you can try either the NPW is equal to 0 method, that is net present worth is equal to 0 method, or you can go with the trial and error method. Okay, it is left to you, but you need to write the equation. You need to write the equation, and you need to also mention by using the calculator. This is the answer what I got. Okay, see the marks will be given. Don't worry about that. I can assure you on that actually, but you need to write down what are the details that is required. You write down the question straight away, write down the answer, then expect a 0. You won't be getting anything. You need to first write down the equation, draw the cash flow, write down the equation. Then by using the calculator, this is the answer what I have got. Okay, you can do it in that way. Am I clear? So 1 lakh is an investment, 30,000 is the returns what will be getting every year for the 5 years. So minus 1 lakh, your NPW is equal to minus 1 lakh plus 30,000 P by A I comma 5. So you can start with the random value of 5. You can start with say 8% first. You can start with 8% first. If you're getting a positive net present worth, increase it to straight away to 12%. You can go right for 12%. If you're still getting a positive net present worth, then you can proceed further. But if you're getting a negative net present worth, you can stop over there itself. Okay, so you have one positive net present worth, one negative net present worth. Then you can use the interpolation method to calculate what is the rate of return. But if it is positive, increase it further to 15%. Again, if it is positive over there, increase it further to next higher value. So that is how it has to be done. So I will straight away take you to the solution part now. So you can look at the solution. So if you see here, okay, the first option considered is 10%, not 8%. For 10%, you're getting a positive net present worth. Okay. For 16% you're getting a negative value. Okay. Okay. So what is the previous value that you got, Yatin? Did you check for 14% or 12%? Okay. Now use the interpolation method. Okay. I'll move on to the next step. I hope you all have written this down. So we'll move on to the next step. So we're considering the next higher value. Straight away we're going to 15%. Okay. Straight away we're going to 15%. See, you can see, since why why I'm telling you to go with the smaller step, because you'll get the accuracy of the value. But here what we look is the concept. You can straight away take 10%. You can go to the next higher value, that is even 25% also. But the range or the accuracy won't be close. Okay. So I didn't want to do that actually. But here in this, from 10% straight away they gone to 15%. So again, you're getting a positive net present worth. Now for 18% APC, for 18% you are getting a negative net present worth. For 18% you're getting a negative net present worth. Okay. So if you look at the the XY axis, if you look at the XY axis, for 15% you're getting 566, which is positive. For 18% you're getting minus 6184. So that means here the values are lying between 15 to 18%. The values are lying between 15 to 18%. So when we use the interpolation method, this is the interpolation method that has been utilized over here. So so this is your starting point, X, or I'll put it in a better way. So this is 15. This is your X value. This is your 0. This is your 566. Okay. This is your 18%. This is minus 6184. Okay, minus 6184. Now, you know that it is more than 15%. So 15% will be your starting point. Okay. So 15% plus 18 minus 15. 15% plus 18 minus 15 into 566 minus 0 divided by 566 minus of minus 6184. So your interpolation starts with 15% because it is more than 15%. So 15% plus 18 minus 15% into 566 minus 0 divided by 566 minus 6184. So the answer you get is close to 15.252%. The answer you get close to is 15.252%. Am I clear now? Any doubts here related to the trial and error method? How many of you use the calculator or the NPW is equal to 0 method? How many of you used it? How many of you have used the NPW is equal to 0 method? Okay, good, Nikesh. So you're getting close to it, not an issue. 15.23. Yes, that might be more accurate actually. The reason why I'm saying more accurate is because over here there is a difference of 3%. That is 15 to 18. If you're utilize 15 to 16%, right? As Ethin got negative value for 16%. When you do 15 to 16, you may get 15.23 also. Of course, it's not a big deal for us. We look for that particular range where it is actually falling. Okay. So you're getting 15.24%, not an issue actually. Higher the value straight, say like you've taken 30% or taken 40%, it would have come close to around 16.5% or something like that, right? But the answer variation is that, but the method what you used is correct. So don't feel it is a wrong method. It is a correct method what you used. Okay, basically we try to see your concept is right or wrong. So we shall move to the next problem, next numerical problem. I hope I'm clear with this. Any doubts, please feel free to ask me. Okay. So we'll straight away move to the third question. So if you see here, there are three alternatives. The MARR is given. MARR is given, minimum attractive rate of return for the firm is given as 12%. Now, in this particular question, your starting point itself is 12%, right? Your starting point itself is 12%. So for 12%, if you see like you're getting a negative net present worth, that means the alternative has to be discarded. It has to be discarded in the beginning itself. You need not consider that particular alternative. If it is more than 12%, then you evaluate and check which alternative has to be selected. Okay, so your starting point here for this particular problem is 12%. But if you're using the NPW is equal to 0 method, you can straight away go with that. There is absolutely no issues. So, please try to solve it. I would like to hear the answers from your end. So, again, in this case, draw the cash flow diagram, write down the equation, necessary equation, and then find out which alternative is better. Okay, so we'll move on to the solution. This is for question 2. For question 3, of course, it shouldn't be for 10%. It should be for 12%. Your starting point should be for 12%. So this is wrong. Don't go by this. Okay. So for, okay, instead of 12, they move to 15. 15%, they're getting positive net present worth. For 18%, they're getting negative. So using the interpolation method, it comes to 15.81% for alternative 1. So the rate of return for alternative 1 is 15.81%. Yes, you're getting A3 to be negative. So you can discard it actually. So this is for alternative A2. So for A2, it is, positive at 12% itself. Okay, it's somewhere around 12.003%. So this is for A2. Whereas for A3, you are getting a negative net present worth. Here it's shown as 12 itself because it is very close to 12. Whereas for A3 is negative, so it is not written here actually. But you need to show it. You need to show it in your answer sheets. Okay. So when MRR is given, that is your starting point. So you need to start exactly at MRR itself. Here in this question, MRR is given as 12%. So you have to start with the 12% interest rate itself. So do you want me to take one more problem related to this method, or should we wait till 3 o'clock for the test to start?
Sir, can you show the question again?
This particular question?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure.
So what exactly do we have to do here? Do we have to find best alternative for 12%, or do we have to find best rate of interest for best rate of
You
return?
find, see, that is what, when I discussed, right? You need to find out which alternative will provide you the maximum returns. Returns. You're finding which alternative is going to provide you the maximum returns. Am I clear?
No, sir. Can you repeat?
Okay, see, in rate of return, see, there are several alternatives, right? So you are finding which alternative is, which alternative will give you a maximum return. So in this alternative one, the return comes to 15%, A2 comes to 12%, A3 is negative. So you're going to select alternative A1 because you're getting a maximum return. Maximum return from alternative A1. So this alternative is actually chosen for your particular project rather than A2 or A3, because the return what you're going to get from A1 is going to be more.
So, sir, why are we varying the rate of return? Like,
why are you varying
the rate of return?
See, all the alternatives cannot give you the same rate of return, right? Rate of return will be different.
Yes, sir.
Right? Will it be the same?
No.
It will be varying, right? So that is where, see, now, basically, when the, I should say, like when particular industry, right, they want to come out with a different vertical. They try, they have surplus cash with them, but they want to come out with a different vertical actually. So they come out with various options. They see like which option is better. So this particular methods, the methods what I discussed from present worth till IRR, right? You can use any one of the method to find or evaluate which alternative will give you either the better returns or in terms of net worth, which will fetch you the highest net worth over a period of time. So here, you have three different alternatives. Investment options are, varying. Your rate of your income every year also is varying. It is not the same, right? But if you actually look at the particular investments or maybe look at the net income itself, only the net income, alternative A3 has got a higher net income. So you might say like, income is more, so I prefer like going with that. But the reality might be different, right? It may not even break even. Now the minimum rate of return or minimum attractive rate of return, MARR, that actually signifies that, it is actually decided by the company. It is actually decided by the company. So anything less than 12% is not at all acceptable or feasible for the company, because they are looking for something more, because there might be their own overheads. There might be their own, assets they're taken on loan, right? So all these things comes into picture for them. So they say like they fix the rate. Anything below 12% is not feasible for us. So we need to look, higher than that actually. So they fix a particular value. So in 12%, there might be even 2% for profits, or maybe 5% profits, or maybe 6% profits also, right? So they try to evaluate that particular thing. So this is where they fix the value, and they come out with the alternative. So the rate of return which which alternative gives you the highest in this thing return, right, is selected to be the better one.
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Okay. No, feel free. Don't worry about that, because I'm here to clarify all your doubts actually. So don't feel that I may shout at you. Don't worry. I mean, I'm not going to do that. But my job here is to clear all your doubts. Okay. Maybe in the next class also we can discuss if you're not understood that. So we can take it further from that. So I'm going to stop over here itself. I'm going to give you a 10 minutes break so that you can prepare. And exactly at 3 o'clock, I will share the link. Link will be posted in the chat window. So it is accessible to everyone. Okay. Link will be posted in the chat window, so it is accessible to everyone. And by the end of the 30th minute, you need to, the 20th minute itself, you need to submit it. 10 minutes grace time is given, but beyond that 10 minutes, it's not going to be considered. This time the rules are very strict. So please be careful. Don't delay. Don't say network issue or any particular issue, power went off, anything. Keep both the devices on. Your mobile, I'm sure that you're going to use your mobile as well as your laptop. Keep both the devices on actually, because you need to have a backup over there. Later say my mobile battery was down, this was down. We are very sorry, because I've been told to communicate this to you guys actually. Okay, please understand, don't play around, don't waste the time. Submit it within the given time itself. Okay, so I will give a 8 minutes break for you to prepare yourself, and but exactly at 3 o'clock I will share the link in this particular chat window itself.